Good evening and welcome to the 26th Annual Southeastern Lacrosse Conference Championships. The 41 member teams of the SELC, thank you for watching tonight and for supporting the growth of lacrosse in the Southeast. Tonight's semifinal contest matches the University of Georgia against the University of Richmond Spiders for the right to advance to the finals tomorrow at Northview High School. I want to take a moment and thank our sponsors. The title sponsor is the Johns Creek Convention and Visitors Bureau. I'd also like to thank LaxWorld, Eliminator, STX, Georgia Tech Lacrosse Camps, High Five Productions, the Overton Team, Georgia Chapter of U.S. Lacrosse, and Shane's Barbecue. I want to introduce, game has started. Let's see here, number 2, Trent Dean has ball. Moves it up top, number 3, Vance Woodcocks. Evan Hamrick. Cycling the ball around.
That was a good steal by a Richmond defender on that. Anticipated that pass.
Let's see here. We got number 35 for Richmond pushing up the field. And a turnover.
Unforced turnover, and you don't want to have that early in the game. You want to get that out of your system.
Yeah, absolutely. See, Evan Hamrick on the clear, moves it back to Connor Reed. Number of players from the Atlanta area here representing Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia runs a very, very explosive offense, and their midfielders are very athletic and can shoot very well on the run.
Yeah, nice shot there off the pipe by David Bexley. Ball restarts in the corner, pushing up top.
We had a whistle here.
Okay, got an extra ball on the field. Clear that out. See, ball's up top, moves back around to David.
Yeah, they're going to look to dodge and feed the crease. That's what they're very good at. And they're very good at banging it back up top.
Look like they're in a 2-2-2. It's doing some rotating. And Connor on the drive.
Good defense by Georgia on that. Richmond.
Yeah. Nice little hedge there. Ball's pushing around to X. Got Daniel O'Mears with the ball.
This is Dumpleton. He's got a good shot. Gonna hit the post.
Good hustle for the ball there. It's like Georgia's coming up with it. Number 10, Michael Trainer pushing in. Coming right back with another dodge is Connor Reed.
That was a good double by Richmond on that.
Yeah, very opportunistic. Good time for it. Low risk. Nice save by the keep. Up. Not a good time to lose the ball. Trent Dean scrapping for it.
Yeah, he's a guy you got to worry about. He's got a phenomenal shot.
Yeah, he's been huge for them this year. 52 goals, 16 assists in the regular season.
But you know what? Richmond's doing a great job of packing it in and communicating with each other.
Yeah, Richmond was only able to bring 16 guys this weekend, which is unfortunate because of academic exams starting up. So they certainly want to try to slow things down here. And Georgia's certainly the opposite. They're a team that usually wants to get out and run and gun.
Yeah, what you want to do is take them out of their game to keep it close. Once you start playing their game, it's tough to keep up, especially when you're down that many guys.
Another strong take and a shot there, just off cage, looking for the lower pipe.
You know, Georgia's going to spread you out, and they're going to use their athleticism. This is Connor Reed. He's got a pretty good shot.
Yeah, pulled a little early in the possession there. I think they can work for a better opportunity. Ball starting back left, number 12, Daniel O'Mears.
I think, early in a game like this, both teams are just feeling each other out, trying to see, that's how it usually is in all these games, especially in this playoffs.
Yeah, your teams have some jitters. They want to try to settle in, get a feel for it.
I think Georgia's trying to figure out what Richmond's doing defensively, and I'm sure they're going to adapt to it.
Yeah. Yeah, Georgia's got a little rotating 2-3-1 at the moment. You're going to push, and then you'll see the rotate back out the backside side. Good underhand shot. Looks like Richmond's got the backup, so good hustle there.
Yeah, as a coach, that's frustrating when you don't have anybody backing up the cage when you take shots like that. It's pretty much an unforced turnover.
Yeah. Richmond now looking to clear. Pushes the ball to midi in the middle of the field.
Richmond's got a lot of heart. These kids, they battled the other night. I watched them play last night against Florida State, and they hung in there the whole game, and they took advantage of opportunities, and they need to do the same tonight, especially against this very talented Georgia team.
Nice clear there. Richmond settles in with the ball. Got Brad Rigoli with the ball now, looking to dodge.
They're a very crafty team, Richmond. They got very good stick skills.
Yeah, a lot of high intelligent players, high IQ guys on the lacrosse-wise, and certainly will make the right decision with the ball. Can they athletically hang with the small roster they have? Will kind of tell the story for the night. Nice look on the inside, just missed cage.
Again, just as it was before, no one backing up the cage.
Yeah.
I think in Richmond, in this case, with their low numbers, you really need to be patient. They'll get their opportunities, but you have to be patient.
Georgia in their clear. A little bit rushed there. Richmond coming right back at them. Ball moved down the wing to number 11.
That's a force.
Yeah. Bit rushed there, especially with the lower roster that they have tonight. They're going to want to be a little more patient with the ball.
Yeah,
we got a pole for Georgia pushing in.
That was good defense.
Yeah, good time to pick him up. And Georgia's going to settle through, do some substituting, get their personnel right. And it's Michael Traynor then pulling the ball back to X, cycling up through on the right side. Back up top to George Walker.
Here they go with that dodge from up top, and they'll look to feed it on the crease or bang it back. That rollback's going to be there all game.
George is a natural lefty. You can see him rolling back there. That was a nice pickoff.
Yeah, and Georgia, I think, tried to do too much on that, and it forced the crease. And like I said, they're feeling each other out right now, and this game will eventually get into a good tempo.
See, Richmond's now pulling the ball behind, number 17.
Yeah, keep your eye on number 32, John Magnuson. He had a very good game last night against Georgia Tech. Florida State. He had a few goals last night. And one thing about this Richmond team is that they can shoot, and they can shoot from outside. So keep your eye on that.
Good shot and a save by the Georgia keeper. Shot by John Magnuson on the alley dodge.
That was a great save by Lumsden, the Northview product, playing on his home turf. Comes up with a great save.
Yeah, it's got to feel good, be able to come back home, playing the old stadium. Trent Dean pushing it up in the clear. Kind of settling in here for Georgia. They're getting there in a 3-2-1 at the moment. George Walker pushing.
They're very good at finding the open man, and that was a good play by Richmond, crashing to the ball. You got to be careful throwing the ball in the middle right there. And you know that, Coach.
Yeah, dangerous play there. You would prefer to not put it in the middle of the field as much as possible. Richmond pushing into the offensive end. Sends it to Nate. On, back around.
They're going to pull it out here.
Yep. Let's see. Looks like Richmond's also in a 3-2-1. Find a little C cut on the crease.
He's open. You just got to get that. Got to get a better shot off. Yeah. And you give credit to Georgia on defense there. They got to stick in there.
And Georgia now clearing, pushing it back to Lumsden. And Connor Reed brings it over the midfield line. Connor Reed now carrying the ball past below GLE. Looking to take that long stick behind. Got Matt Dumbledon up top, moving the ball over to Evan Hamrick. A little bit of rush on the shot there. Ball's going to stay with Georgia. Ball moves to Daniel O'Meara. He looks to push top side. Moves the ball back to the middle to Connor Reed. On around to David.
Yeah, he's got you got to watch out for, especially up top.
You know, Richmond's playing pretty fundamentally sound on defense. You know, not stretching too much, just kind of packing it in, responding.
Yeah, and you know, one thing with Georgia is, you know, you can't let them feed. You got to get on their hands and play their hands and poke and lift on them, because if you give them that inch, they're going to take it.
That was a good clean slide by Richmond. Put Connor Reed to the ground and missed shot off the second chance opportunity. Ball stays with Georgia. Attacking the alley again, number 11, David Bexley.
I have to tell you, Richmond is definitely playing good defense right now. They're communicating and they're slotting well.
Yeah, I've noticed a couple of hedges on the adjacent just to kind of step in, do a little show, kind of, you know, scaring or pushing Georgia back out before they can really threat. That's a nice handle. Not the shot that Coach Lewandowski's looking for there.
Yeah, and you know, those are the shots our goalie's going to get all day, and that didn't really have much on it. But Richmond's they don't want to play too much defense, because this Georgia team's deep and they're so athletic.
Richmond here on the clear. Nice poke. Magnuson handling in the corner and just scrapping it up with the LSM. Nice help. I think this is going back the other way. Look at a loose ball push. Ball's going to Georgia.
Yeah, we played Georgia this past Sunday, and they do a very good job of riding. You really have to, your middies have to come down and break to get open. They can't just run up the field, because then that leaves that open to lose the ball and lose possession. There's about 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
Ball comes back up top to George Walker. He pushes it back up to Kamen. Satude moves it on through to Daniel O'Meara.
Good trail check.
Yeah, nice trail check. Open for a second, but you know, a little bit of a force on the pass there, just not necessary on the cross crease.
You know, when you're Richmond, you really want to get the ball. You don't want to go right to the cage here.
Up and the goal.
That worked out pretty well that time, but
yeah, goal by number 28, Robbie Poirier. Nice take there. You know, in the transition there, the Georgia didn't do a good job of getting their spacing right. They left a gap, and he made the right play to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think Georgia got a little out of position on that, and it gave them the opportunity to score that goal. You know, Richmond needed that. They just played a lot of defense, and you know, it gives them a little jolt. Like I said, this first quarter and most of these games are, you know, both teams feeling each other out, and I'm sure Georgia will find some way to score, because they're that much of an offensive juggernaut.
Georgia wins the face-off. That's Daniel O'Meara, settles him in, moves the ball up top to number 9, DJ Nucles. Moves the ball back to X to Kyle Reed. On to Trent Dean. Just kind of cycling the ball here in a very wide 2-3-1. Obviously trying to pull Richmond out a little bit. They're doing a good job of staying nice and tight.
That's what you have to do against this Georgia team, and you got to do it all game. You can't do it for 3 quarters. You can't do it for a quarter. You got to do it for 60 minutes. Yeah, this is their bread and butter. Dodging from up top across the middle and looking for that shot. That was a great save.
Yeah, it's good shot by Camus Atude, and a nice save by number 4, Denny Driscoll.
And Driscoll hugged the pipe on that and had great position. And if you watch closely, Georgia can ride very well. And as Richmond's got to be patient. That was a good clear on that.
Yeah, nice little ladder clear. Just find the 2-on-1 and step up through it. And just dump it over the top.
With under 2 minutes here, if you're Richmond, you want to just settle it a little bit. You just play defense. Look for your play. You have good enough, crafty offensive players where you'll have opportunities.
Yeah, Richmond here with the 1-0 lead. Just would love to put one more in before the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, that was a nice shot by Magnuson. He had a great game last night against Florida State, and like I said, he's a guy you got to watch.
And Brad Rigoli starting him at the back right, moves the ball up top.
Here comes that double.
Yeah, early double to Magnuson. Not a big surprise there. Oh, a lot of space in the middle of the field. Nice save by Lumsden.
That was great ball movement by Richmond. The goalie made a phenomenal save.
Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of patience that's going to give Richmond, a real great opportunity to win this game.
Yeah, I think if Richmond's patient on offense and their defense keeps playing the way they are, this is going to be a great game to watch.
A lot of pressure from the long stick.
That was a nice feed.
Yeah,
looking
good.
To Dean. And Dean's that crafty.
Yeah,
he'll take those shots.
Yeah, nice little question mark right there. Richmond on the clear. He's getting doubled. Nice look upfield to number 13. He's got a little angle. 20 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah, this is where you want to set up and look for your best shot here. But here's Magnuson. This is the guy you want with the ball.
Yeah, a little late on the slide. Just misses the lower corner. We've got a flag down up near midfield. Try to get this situated.
Yeah, offsides.
Yeah, offsides must be on Georgia.
It's offsides on Georgia.
I'm going to guess that Richmond will hold the ball here for the last 5 seconds of the quarter. Start with possession for the second quarter.
Yeah, that would be a smart thing to do, and Coach Carter I'm sure will draw up a really good man-up play to start the second quarter.
That's exactly what they're going to do. Be nice and patient.
Just a great first quarter here. I think you got 2 good teams, and Richmond, like I said, has a lot of heart with those low numbers.
We got a kind of a quick start. Announcing tonight is Matt Sinowitz at the University of Tennessee, and doing color here next to me is Patrick Aiello from Ole Miss. So great to be here, and looking forward to another great 3 quarters here. Yeah, hopefully the weather will cooperate. We were calling for some rain today, and it stayed away. And we've had pretty decent crowds all day. And this is definitely the biggest that it's been. Not a huge surprise with Georgia here being this late game that we'd have a big crowd, but certainly got a good crowd watching.
Yeah, I think the key. This is a big man up for Richmond, because they get this, they can get on a run here, and that's what you want to do against Georgia. I mean, we had to run against them this past Sunday. We couldn't hold on, and it's the type of, like I said earlier, you got to play for 60 minutes. Yeah,
absolutely. I think if Richmond puts one in here, they'll pick up some confidence, and that even with the smaller roster, they can hang with Georgia.
Yeah, and they have a very good offense. People don't realize, and especially I saw it last night against Florida State. They move the ball extremely well against them, and Georgia is a defense. They're very good, but there are times you can catch them looking, and you got to make every chance, every opportunity you got to take advantage of.
Absolutely.
Looks like they're going to be in a 1-4 here.
It does, yeah. It does look like they're setting up in a 1-4. We'll see if they stay in that set. This is Richmond and their man up.
Yeah, they can really swing the ball around, and you'll see here on this man up. They did a great job against Florida State last night on their man up. I think they were man up 5 times and were about 5 for 5 on man up.
So they're in their 1-4-1, cycling through X. They've popped off. Now they're in a 1-3-2. Just trying to change the feel of it.
I mean, being a coach, the key is on man up is to move that ball. I mean, holding it and scanning, it's not going to help you at all, especially when you're up a man.
Richmond ran just a small wheel there. That corner pulled in, and they wheeled around up top.
That was a shot by Magnuson. That was good rebounds.
Nice rebound and goal. Here we go, 2-0. University of Richmond, nice goal there. That's number 17 on the crease, Nate Volper.
Yeah, those rebounds are huge. I mean, being a former attacker myself, those are those things you love to get.
Yeah, they may be called garbage goals, but they still count as a goal. So Nate's been pretty huge for Richmond this year, 31 goals on the season, 12 assists, so certainly coming up big here in the semifinals.
And the thing you got to remember is just because Richmond's up 2-0 doesn't mean anything. This Georgia team can score at will at any time.
It's like Richmond went early on the face, so Georgia was awarded with the ball.
Looks like Dean's got this guy's hung. Let's see what he does here.
Yep, Dean's got him hung. Goalie's kind of stepping out. Still a little early in the possession.
That was a great save by the
goalie.
goalie.
Well played. Defenseman stepped, and goalie just followed stick. It was the right play.
That was a shot. Georgia's waving their hands like they thought that they had possession, but that was a shot, and it was a good by Richmond.
Yes, ball awarded to Richmond on the clear. Again, another dangerous play in the middle of the field, playing field hockey with it. That's not what you want to see, but he's being strong with it here.
Yeah, that was they got lucky on that one.
Yeah, it's way to run through the checks, read his angles.
Yeah, the key for Richmond in this game is to get Georgia out of their rhythm.
Absolutely.
And stay that way. And they're doing a good job right now. But like I said, with these amount of guys, let's see if they can do it all game.
Ball's here on the right side. Doug Slaughter pushing up top.
That
good look by Slaughter. Magnuson,
and he still
handles.
had it.
Yeah, kind of the up high check. I'm sure that's what they were calling. And we got a flag down. Richmond maintains possession.
Yeah, with these new rules this year, you got to. That was a nice look.
Yep.
These new rules, doesn't matter if the ball hits the ground. The other team's got to get possession for the whistle to blow, or goal. Oh, here we go. Georgia's in the box already. There's 2 man downs already.
Yeah.
So.
Looks like a illegal body check 1.
Yeah, but Georgia is typically they are a team that starts slow, and then they just turn it on out of nowhere.
Yeah, Richmond certainly 2-0 lead. They got to be feeling good, but certainly not something that they can rest there on their laurels. They've got to stay sharp.
No lead in the game of lacrosse is safe until that scoreboard says 0-0 on it.
Yeah, I think North Carolina was up on Duke yesterday 10-3, and ended up being a 1-goal game right at the end. So anything can happen. It's a long game.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That game was unbelievable last night.
Richmond in a 2-3-1, actually going to a 2-2-2 there as they push up on the GLE.
It's good by you.
Yeah, good handle there. Looking to clear on their man down. You should see Richmond go to jump all players here, that extra guy.
Yeah.
Little passive on the man up ride, in my opinion.
Yeah, they get the right line in there. You're gonna have their first midfield in right now with Reed, and Dumpleton in there. And 11 is very dangerous. And at times what they'll do is they'll invert, which they're doing right now. And you got to watch out for that. They beat us on Sunday on that same play. That's what they do, right to the crease.
Nice handle. That's a great shot. Number 11, David Bexley.
Defenseman made a great play initially, but you know, he had a great handle with it and turned and shot, and that's what you need to do.
Yeah, that was a great feed into him on the crease and the rollback, and a nice shot to the top shelf. Just like we said, Georgia can and will strike at any moment. Yeah, I think the Richmond defenseman there just left too much space when he cut into the crease, enough to get that feed in. They've got to make sure, you know, somebody with inside 7 yards in front of the goal has got stick on stick.
Yeah, and then in that situation, the defense has got to collapse on that, you know. And Georgia, actually, in the earlier game, Georgia Tech did a phenomenal job on Virginia Tech collapsing on the crease.
It's like early on Georgia this time, so right back the other way. Each team now with one technical on the face-off.
Yeah, you're Richmond. Settle it down, slow it down here. That was
a force. Luckily, they had a guy, number 11 up top.
Yeah, Richmond's very good at moving off ball. Those guys find a way to get open, and if sometimes you can catch Georgia on defense, you know, looking, but you got to take advantage of that.
So it's Chris Giffords here pushing.
That was a good move.
That was a good move. Way to move the extra pass. Great save by Lumsden. Great save.
Yeah, you know, on that shot, he could have kept going in a little further, and on those where you kind of have a tough angle, that's when you want to go off hip on that. He kind of caught it high, looked high.
Georgia moving the ball to the backside, gets it up to the midfield, being guarded by the LSM. Oh, nice speed. Probably going to move it down one more. Oh, nice. I think there was a nice stick check there right at the last second.
Yeah, that was number 31, Matt Hicks. He got a stick on Trent Dean's shot.
Yeah, probably saved a goal there.
Yeah, because he's got a rifle, and he got a lot on that shot. That was a great save by the goalie.
Yeah, great save. A little early in the possession for Georgia. You know, they're still substituting on the midfield side. Barely got their guys on. I bet coach would rather have that one back.
Yeah, that's frustrating as a coach when you just got the ball and you're subbing guys in, and your attackman goes and takes a shot. Like I said, this Georgia team rides very well, and you can't really make mistakes on them.
Yeah, Georgia basically locking off in the midfield and just going to force the long pull or the goalie to beat them somewhere on the edge. Overplay, nice drive to the middle, and Lumsden bails them out again.
He's been the story for them right now, making some great saves.
Georgia in the clear, pushing up. Got the late subs coming in for Richmond. Looks like Georgia's content to pull it on out.
Sure, Coach Lewandowski's right now is saying, don't force the ball.
Yeah. Let's see, DJ Nuckel's pushing the ball around. Got Kyle Reed at X on the short stick defender matchup. Probably likes this, telling some guys to get out of the way. Like, obviously he does.
Yeah, they're trying to find a right matchup.
Really wanting to, you know, get Richmond to slide early. No slide at all, and makes them pay for it.
Yeah, that was a nice take.
I mean, yeah, he got underneath the defenseman. No help came. He's really in no man's land. And the nice goal. Looks like the push from behind call has been waved off because of the goal. So,
yeah, I think Coach Lewandowski realized the 6-on-6 wasn't working, and he's finding matchups, and that was a great matchup right there because they're athletic and they're going to take advantage of it. And like we talked about earlier, Richmond is very low on numbers, and this is where to get them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not able to really move the ball and get behind the defense, you know, sometimes you just got to test it one-on-one, and obviously that matchup was in Georgia's favor.
Yeah.
It's like a nice face-off win there by Georgia. See, Michael Trainer with the ball. Pushing on down into the behind GLE as Georgia gets their substitutions in. A long stick there, trying to catch
Walker.
the, yeah. Now they're going to slow it down.
Here they go again to that invert.
Oh, yeah, love the short stick matchups. That's what they've, they definitely noticed in there. Richmond that time hedged early. See Trent Dean starting the ball back right.
Yeah, you got to keep your eye on him. Even though he's been quiet, he's one of those guys who can just sneak out there, and he'll take shots from anywhere. He's got that good of a shot.
Oh, that's a lot of heat on that shot. Nice save by the keeper. Again, Georgia looking to attack the short stick defender.
This is big here because they're very aggressive on the ride. I love how they ride here because it causes turnovers. And see this right here.
Yep. A little bit premature on the shot.
Yeah.
It was a great ride. You know that the Richmond midfielder's got to use the goalie and defenseman, use his help, not try to run through three guys.
Yeah, the problem on that ride is their middies were all the way up the field already. And
right.
You need to come back to the ball.
Especially once he gets doubled.
Yeah. And you got to take your time. Don't rush it. You know, you have time to clear it.
And again,
the problem is they're all standing there. You need to break to the ball. You can't just have one guy. That's going to be a flag.
It's going to be a hold. 30 seconds would be my guess. Richmond pushing on the offensive end. Yeah, with Georgia's ride, you know, they're going to have to work the 2-on-1 with get a pole or goalie involved. Nice shot there by Richmond. It's like we'll get our man-up unit in at this point.
You know, what Richmond did on man-up last night against Florida State that worked is they were swinging the ball around, but they had very good outside shooters, and we haven't seen that yet. Let's see if we see it on this man-up right now. One thing that Richmond's very good at is finding the open man.
Absolutely. Got 6:50 to go in the second quarter. Richmond man up for 30 seconds. Looks like Georgia's showing a little bit of pressure on the adjacent. Trying to skip one more. Probably going to see a shot here. Nice shot. Goal.
That's what they do best.
You know, just a slow rotation by the Georgia bottom defenseman. It's got responsibility to come across. A little slow, but nice ball moving by Richmond and a great shot.
And Georgia's got to cut down the penalties. It's still early in the game where you don't want to be down too much because then it's leading to goals.
Richmond now with the 3-2 lead. I believe 2 of those goals on man up, if I'm not mistaken. So as you're saying, yeah, Georgia really doesn't need to be helping Richmond out with the penalties.
I know as a coach, it just gets so frustrating when you get penalties and you get goals put against you. It's just one of those like guys, let's be patient, play under control. You know, sometimes when you ride too aggressively, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You get penalties.
Number 16, Harrison Casada for Georgia, has really just been dominating at the face-off X. Just won the majority of clamps, kind of controlling what he does with the ball. Certainly, if that continues, that's going to make the job that much harder for Richmond to have to, get turnovers to get possessions. You know, just makes that small roster have to expend a lot more energy.
Yeah, this is. It looks like they're gonna.
Let's see, Evan Hamrick for Georgia carrying on to the top right. In a 2-3-1 at the moment. Kind of a high crease.
Yeah, here comes Nubbleton. He's
sneaking in on the backside.
See, they look to feed that middle, that crease, and Richmond played that very well.
Yeah, obviously knew what they were trying to do. It's a good hit.
Oh, Coach Carter called a timeout before that happened.
Good timeout by Coach Carter. Could see his pole was in a bit of trouble with the slide coming and got the timeout in. It's an experienced call.
Or else that could have been a flag right there. That looked like a nasty hit, you know. But that was a good timeout. I think you give you guys a rest. and draw up something offensively. Get a good possession. You got 5 minutes and 36 seconds left in the half. You know, run a little clock. Give your defense a break.
Yeah, you know, they'd love to get one here, get one back, kind of put the pressure back on Georgia, and they've got the talent to do it.
I think here you don't attack right away. I think you know, because one thing we talked about earlier is Richmond's very good at moving the ball, and they're good at finding the open man, whether it's 6-on-6 or extra man, and they're going to get the opportunities. I think you just got to be patient.
Absolutely. The attack are intelligent. They know when to push. Have great vision. You know, they'll find the open guys. They're just like you said. If they're patient, move the ball, move their feet, the openings will be there. It's like ball starting top left. Got Trent Dean starting. Excuse me, number 2 for Richmond. Don't have a name on number 2, so he's just going to be number 2 today.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. Is just be patient. You know, run some clock. Run some clock.
Nice ground ball
scrum.
Ground ball
by but I give handed.
I was just say, yeah, number 22 by Richmond. Brad Regali comes up with the ball. Pushes the ball to number 17.
Georgia's being aggressive right now on defense.
Yeah, they definitely look like they want to extend a little more pressure, kind of test Richmond. Yeah, Doug Slaughter with the ball. So he pushes it over to Magnuson, one of the bigger threats from Richmond. As you can see it. I mean, the double comes so early when he touches the ball.
It looks like the defenseman got a piece of that.
It's good. Extend, going for the ground ball. It's like Richmond's come up with it. Moved it off the ground. Here. Yeah, moved it off the ground. Nicely done. They're going to settle back in. 4:20 left in the quarter. Got Doug Slaughter up top with the ball again. And number 2 for Richmond's got the long stick on him. 4 minutes to go. Richmond with the 3-2 lead.
This is Magnuson. That was a great look.
Great look, good pressure. Just pulled it through a bit.
Yeah, he pulled on that a little bit.
Kind of alligator armed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Georgia's defenseman's got to stay aware there, kind of sleeping in there, and allowed that space to be created. Oh, nice look on the crease, nice fake. Great finish by Richmond.
And you know what? That goes back to great off-ball movement.
Absolutely. You know, you had the dodge. The guy just flashes to the back pipe. A lot of confidence. The attackman pumps it there, and a nice handle and a finish. You know, Georgia's just got to get tighter in all around the crease. Certainly can't be ball watching there. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and that, and that's what when we played them last Sunday. That's what we had success against. Is in the inside when they take their eye off the man for a second, and you got to take advantage of that opportunity, and that's what Richmond's doing right now.
So Richmond won the clamp, but it does look like Georgia's going to out-hustle to the ground ball. And yes, Georgia gets possession. Michael Traynor pulls the ball behind.
Nice pick.
Oh, picked off by Richmond.
Yeah, look at it.
Yeah, needs to look up. Not handle the ball like that in the middle of the field. Number 26 clears the ball. Got a man open in the middle of the field. One more.
Oh,
just got
tough pass.
Yeah, just needs to get a little more on that. Georgia needs to be a little bit tighter here. Richmond's taking advantage of some energy laps and some mental laps that they're making. We've got 3 minutes left in the half. Richmond with the 4-2 lead. Georgia settling in. Number 5, Cayman Satude carrying the ball. Moves the pass to Trent Dean.
Can't leave him open. You can't take your eye off him.
You cannot leave him open.
He is very crafty, and he could score from anywhere on the field.
You just can't allow him. You can't give him that much space when he's 5 yards, from the cage. 3 steps, he's above GLE. The nice finish to the top shelf.
That's why he had 66 goals during the regular season.
Yeah. Certainly a player for Georgia that knows how to find the back of the net.
That was a big momentum goal for Georgia, heading into the half here.
Absolutely.
We had a violation on
Looks
Georgia.
like we got another early violation on Georgia, so that's the second on them. One on Richmond so far, and Richmond gets possession. 2:40 to go. Ball moves to GLE, pushing on back behind.
And the new rule with the face-offs now, it's not you run off the field. I think you 3 violations and you go in the penalty box.
That's right, yeah. The next violation in this half is a 30-second. Looks like we had an illegal screen or a moving pick there by Richmond's going to put the ball back to Georgia.
Yeah, they're going to look to push it here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Would love to get another goal before half, going to half tied, if not even up by 1. If they can get 2. Move the ball back behind the trainer as they get their substitutions in. You got George Walker coming in from the box.
Yeah, he's going to go here on this.
I think he is too. Not the best angle there by Richmond. Want to make sure they stay high side on trainer.
Yeah, number 19 on Richmond, Sean Robbins did a good job of poking and lifting on that. That's what you have to do against these attackmen.
The DJ Nucles for Georgia, the inside roll.
Yeah,
nice check at the last second there by Richmond.
He's a very athletic midi.
Risky play. Goal by Georgia. I think that was number 9, DJ Nucles on the really a poor decision by Richmond. Going to put the ball right in the middle of the cage, right in front of the cage with no possession, and DJ there to pick it up and put it in.
Yeah, that's again, rebounds, and that's Georgia riding. They rode well on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, just never gave up on the play, kept pursuing, and forced Richmond into a poor decision, and it turns into an easy goal.
People, you see it in the NCAA Division I and II and III. The riding is like a lost art in lacrosse, and to watch the teams that still really do it and do it well, it's impressive.
That was a nice face-off by Patrick Fennell there for Georgia, and the ball goes out of bounds, comes right back to Richmond. Looks like we have 2 balls on the field of play, so we're going to get this situated.
It looks like possession is going to be with Georgia.
And we're looking for a clarification on who's going to get possession here.
This is a big possession, too, because it's a minute left and a half and game tied.
Absolutely. Looks like we got some refs are going to chat it up here, make sure they've got this right. 4-4 game, 1:12 to go in the half. It's kind of been what we expected so far, with Richmond, 16 guys, they're being very patient in the offensive end, not doing too much extending, picking their spots, and Georgia kind of doing what we thought. They like to run and gun, extend a little more pressure. Certainly, I think they'd want to try to take advantage of the numbers.
Yeah. It looks like the ball is going to be going with Richmond. And, from Richmond, you have a timeout left. This might be a good, ideal time to take it and maybe set up a play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the first half. You don't, no reason to keep the timeout in your pocket.
Yeah, they're extending a little bit here, Georgia. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, there was a legal substitution.
That looks like what they've called. Maybe somebody left the box early.
Yeah, there they go again.
Yeah, they'd love to feed that crease, does Georgia. Richmond's trying to run through. As you said, Georgia's a great riding team, putting a lot of pressure on the ball wherever it is.
Yeah, 36 has got to move upfield because they're not, like I said, Georgia is not going to give up on a play.
Yeah, number 36 by Richmond just didn't have the urgency in the clear, and Georgia did. Came and got the ball from them. 30 seconds to go. Ball's now with George Walker, and looks like Georgia will use their timeout. So with 26.8 seconds to go, Georgia's timeout, and then obviously Coach Lewandowski is going to want to draw up something here to try to get the 5-4 lead going into half.
Yeah, I think that what they're going to do is I think they're going to invert, and from behind or from the side and look to either go to the cage like they did before and score. They're going to look to feed the crease. So that's been their mojo today.
Absolutely. You know, when they've driven the cage, you know, they're looking for that short stick defender matchup. You know, whether it's up top on the adjacent or behind. You know, whenever they get that matchup, they want to try to take advantage of it. Have not seen a lot of driving on the poles at this point of Richmond's.
No, and they're getting a lot of their activity down low from the attack and on the crease, Georgia. So you're gonna see that right now, I believe.
Not surprisingly, it does look like Trent Dean's going to start with the ball.
Yeah, and you definitely want to pull on him.
Richmond sitting in their man. Ball moves moving around the top of the cage. Goes to George Walker, who's a natural lefty.
They're just very athletic at the midfield, and
we've got 10 seconds left in the half. They've got the short stick matchup like we talked about. Looking to push it up top. Just overthrows him a bit, and that's going to be the end of the half. So at the end of one half, we've got University of Richmond 4, Georgia 4. Good game so far. Patience on the Richmond side of things, kind of some pushing and gunning by Georgia. But those two contrasting styles, here we are at 4-4.
Yeah, I think Richmond needs to be a little more patient on offense. You know, get the ball, move it around. You know, they had success. You know, they caught Georgia looking, and I think they need to continue to do that. They continue off-ball movement. I think this is going to be a great second half, and it's going to come down to who's getting more ground balls and who's going to make more mistakes is, you know, who's going to come out on top.
Absolutely. You know, certainly in the riding game, Georgia is putting a lot of pressure on Richmond with where they're locking off in the midfield. And, you know, Coach Carter's going to have to talk to his defensemen and his goalie about getting more involved, or it's just going to limit the number of possessions that they get. So it will be an exciting second half.
Yeah, we'll be back here.
And here we are back at the semifinal game with the University of Georgia against Richmond. 4-4, tied at half.
Yeah, it's a great game, and it's something I anticipated. Richmond, I was impressed with them last night, and again, I'm impressed with them tonight. I think they can get it going offensively. You know, maybe able to pull this one out, but, you know, then again, George is the type of team who can just start a run and not stop.
Absolutely. I want to take a moment just to thank our sponsors one more time. Title sponsor of this event and has been for many years is the Johns Creek Convention and Visitors Bureau, Lax World, Longhorn Steakhouse, Odor Eliminator, STX, Georgia Tech Lacrosse Camps, High Five Productions, the Overton team, Georgia chapter of U.S. Lacrosse, and Shane's Barbecue. You know, without sponsors like that, the event wouldn't run the same. All the boosters and the assistants from Northview and the other high schools. You know, it's really a community event that makes this thing click so well.
Yeah, I've been impressed since I got here last night. Everybody's been great here, and this campus is incredible. And you know, this is again, great games all weekend. And tonight's shaping up to be a phenomenal game, and I'm sure tomorrow's championship games will be even better.
Yeah, for those that weren't able to tune in before, Georgia Tech out battling Virginia Tech in a great game right before. So Georgia Tech is awaiting the victor of this game for our tomorrow's Division I championship game. And on the Division II side, we have Liberty, who is playing SCAD. Excuse me. Yeah, Liberty versus SCAD in the early game, and then Georgia Tech waiting the winner of this one. So it'd be two great games tomorrow, whatever it ends up being in the Division I final.
Yeah, I just saw Coach Lovick sitting in the stands. Him and his staff are scouting this game like there's no tomorrow, and hands up to Coach Lovick. He's done a phenomenal job this year. His teams they find ways to win. They are just a scrappy, tough team.
So Georgia wins the face-off there, number 16 again. Having a great day, Harrison Casada.
This is what's going to come down to tonight, these ground balls, and especially in the second half. That was a good ground ball.
Absolutely. Richmond getting through their substitution. Both teams substituting, getting their personnel on. Got Magnuson's come on, and number 7 for Richmond, Doug Slaughter, with the ball. Kind of in a very high 3-2-1 at the moment. Obviously trying to stretch Georgia up top. Nice alley dodge. Good stop by Georgia. Pushes it back through. Big rip from 16 yards. That is a wonderful, wonderful goal by Doug Slaughter.
Yeah, you know, I said before that they're very good shooters outside, and that you know they dodged and he banged it back up top, and that was just a great shot.
Yeah, you know, he bounced it right around the front of the crease, just kind of came up around the hip height and not able to handle it. So nice goal.
Yeah, you know, playing on turf, you get these crazy bounces. And if you hit it right, it goes in.
Good. Georgia again early on the face-off. Now it's the first of the second half for them. Harrison Casada got quick hands, but has been a little too quick for the officials so far at the face-off X.
Yeah.
Richmond settling back in on offense.
In this situation, when they play you out that far, you know, they're under pressure. You got to run. You got to move your feet.
Yeah, it's Richmond's playing a very high set up top, kind of wanting to leave a lot of space. You know, the attack's actually down around the GLE. Middies are up above the top of the box, so leaves a lot of room to alley dodge. You can see him working the short stick. Nice.
Yeah, and right now what they're doing is they're being patient.
They've settled into a 2-3-1 here at the moment. Have dropped a midi down to the crease. Going to take this alley dodge. Georgia staying home, not coming. That's a great stick. Great stick by the defenseman. Knocks the ball down. Lumsden got the ball. Looking to clear.
You know, Richmond does a pretty good job of rotting too. But Georgia's very crafty at moving the ball up the field.
See, Georgia moves the ball here to number 11. See, David Bexley going to push in, number 13, Kyle Reed. Good. Gets the inside angle, takes it right to the cooker.
That was a strong, hard dodge to the cage, and he bowled his way through. Great stick protection on that, and finished it.
As you said, you know, Georgia's a very opportunistic team. You know, Kyle saw that or felt that he had an angle, that they didn't have help there, and he took it, and he was correct in that assumption. Able to get in front with a nice finish.
Yeah, you know, and also he saw a great opportunity because they had guys shifted over, so he had the space to dodge, and he utilized it, and that's a trademark of a good attackman.
Nice face-off there by Georgia, by freshman Patrick Fennell. Yeah, Georgia moves the ball back behind GLE. Trent Dean with the ball. Moves the ball up to Evan Hamrick. And the ball comes back to Connor Reed. Connor's a big fella, 6'4". Yep. Got a short stick matchup. Richmond's kind of slow on the come. You can tell they don't really want to have to slide to there. That's shot. Georgia gets the backup. Ball moves back up top to Evan Hamrick. He's got the short stick matchup. He's going to attack the alley. Again, real patience there by the Richmond defense.
That was a great play by the 35 for Richmond. He put a stick up and knocked the ball down because they look to dodge down the alley and they look to force it right into that crease.
We got a little topside sweep to the alley dodge. Look,
good shot by Dumbledore.
Just over the crossbar. Nice opportunity there.
You got to. What Richmond's got to do is they got to beat the middies to the spot, and they got to be around on their hips. Can't let them get a step on you.
They've switched the long stick on to Connor Reed. Got to do that alley dodge again. Again, did Richmond doing a nice job of hedging on those alley dodges, trying to show and help. Kyle Reed here working on the right side, moves the ball back behind.
You got to put your stick up front, stick up field.
It's a good
defense. Yeah,
nice slide there by Richmond. Kind of got them to turn back. Were able to reverse the ball. Again, you know,
Dean's
Looks
down.
like Trent Dean's down.
He went down hard on his knee there.
Yeah, kind of got contorted in that jump in the air, and really the Richmond defenseman just stayed with him, and it just kind of put him down. Nothing malicious there.
Yeah, he's got to come off the field on that. What he tried to do, he got caught between two defenders and tried to twist and shoot it, and I think his knee got locked. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he looks to be, he's walking off under his own power. Just take a minute, kind of settle himself, and I'm sure he'll be right back out there. Got a playmaker like that, they're going to want him back out on the field. So the ball goes to Richmond here, and they're clear. Again, Richmond sending that midfielder in the clear, trying to get the ball to him, and Georgia's content just to man up.
Well, their two middies got to break to the ball. They're both standing on the wings. I mean, you can't just – they're just trying to get slowly to that midi, and Georgia's focusing in on that. And they're gonna crash on it, and he's got to be able to.
Well, Richmond, in some respects, has fallen into how they want to ride. If the defenseman or the goalie will push up, they'll help create a 2-on-1 for them. But if you're just going to make it a man-on-man game, you're just going to have to run. Nice takeaway there. A little bit of a forced pass there by Richmond. Looks like the player might have tweaked his ankle down for the Richmond attackman. Georgia's cleared the ball now. Moves the ball to number 12, Daniel O'Mara. He's going to push it on over to Kyle Reed on the left side as both teams substitute and get their personnel on.
That was a great look.
Yeah, it's playing 5-on-5, or you're substituting a little extra space, and they took an opportunity to push it to the crease and just barely missed the cage. Very opportunistic.
Yeah, and that's what Georgia does well. They move off ball well. And you got to be defensively. You got to be ready to crash on the crease because that's where the look's going.
Richmond's defense doing a good job communicating. You can tell the guys get on the same page, going a little earlier, and nothing else to say there. But a heck of a shot by the attackman.
That was Michael Trainer. He's an attackman. And he has a shorty on him. In that situation, Richmond's got to communicate and switch on that. And got a pull on him, and he took advantage of that.
Yeah, he got to the 5-and-5, and just a nice little shot to the lower right corner. It's awfully tough to stop, particularly when it comes so quickly like that.
Yeah, those are attackman's dreams right there, getting matched up with the short stick and coming around that cage, shooting that ball.
Got 9:32 to go in the third. Georgia with a 6-5 lead. It's like Patrick Fennell again with a nice face-off for Georgia. Georgia continues to dominate at the face-off X.
Yeah, I think Richmond's starting to get a little tired of playing a lot of defense right now, and Georgia's really starting to turn it on.
See George Walker there carrying the ball up to the middle of the field. Looking to push as they substitute. That's shot by number 9, DJ Knuckle. Oh, nice. Wide open.
Richmond got caught ball watching. Richmond got caught ball watching on that. The defenseman took his eye off the attackman for a second, and Trainer caught it, scored. I think Richmond's in a little trouble here, and right now might be an opportune time for Coach Carter just to take a timeout to, stop the bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, you can tell doesn't quite want to burn one yet, but I imagine if they get one more on him here, he'll be wishing he had. Good scrum there. Richmond comes up with the ground ball. The LSM's pushing up. Got a little bit of a break. Moves it down. Beautiful shot.
That was a good shot.
Yeah, beautiful shot by number 11 for Richmond, Chris Gifford. Really, the LSM pushed it in, pulled the defenseman up, and made the right pass, and a great finish to the top left corner.
That was a great answer for Richmond. They needed that.
Yeah, as we just said, we're either Coach Carter needs to take a timeout to settle him down, or certainly a goal will help in its own respect.
And they've been playing a lot of defense in this quarter, so that was a big goal, and they need to start winning faceoffs here. That's what's been hurting them here in the second half is the faceoffs.
See, Georgia wins the clamp again. Richmond wing player gets the face, actually picks up the ground ball, so Richmond wins the face. Number 2, don't have a name on him, but he's been like a solid player.
And Georgia's really pressing out here. Richmond's got to possess the ball here. Be patient. You know, they can move the ball, but they got to be patient and like they were in the first half. And they have to have off-ball movement.
Yeah, nice patient substitution there. It's going to take a little bit of time. They're in a 3-2-1. So again, Richmond likes to kind of pull the middies up high, give a lot of space. The attackmen's kind of stretched down, so there's a lot of room for the middies to work. Looking for the short stick matchup on the wing. We're going to see an alley dodge here out of Magnuson, and no help's coming. Yeah, it's kind of surprising, you know. They left the short stick on the island there on one of their better players.
Yeah, Georgia's doing a good job on defense right now. They're packing it in. Magnuson's been very quiet tonight. They've been doing a good job with him. There's a good dodge, good strong dodge.
Yeah, continuing to cycle in the midfield. Nice little alley dodge there again on the short stick. So continuing, both teams looking to isolate on the short stick when they can. Richmond starting with the ball at X in a 2-2-2. Kind of switch sets there on the end line. Kind of inside move, a nice jam. It's gonna get a push.
Yeah, well, you knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, it looks like the Richmond player about a quarter step, and the Georgia defenseman felt he just had to put a little more pressure on him, try to make sure he didn't get to turn that corner, and they got the push call. So Richmond will be man up for 30 seconds.
This is an opportune time for Richmond to get a goal here. They're man up again. They were successful in the first 2 man ups, so you know this is big. I can't stress it anymore. They got to take advantage of this.
Yes, 7:07 left in the third. Richmond man up. They would it'd be huge for them to go ahead and tie this. Just to keep it tight, and you never know what can happen in the fourth.
They move the ball very well, Richmond, and they can find the open man. That's a great skip pass.
Yeah, they kind of overload from the backside and fill in behind, and certainly they do a good job of skipping the ball back through.
Yeah, they did. They wheeled the ball earlier and got some great opportunities. They had 2 good shots right now, and they just didn't get them on cage.
So they're kind of in a 3-1-2 kind of look where they're pulling the corners up.
That was a good save by the goalie.
Yeah, great pipe discipline by the keep. Was able to push that ball back, and Richmond starts again in the end line. Yeah, and we are back even up again.
All even.
So not surprisingly, as they have been, Richmond's isolating against the short stick defender in the back right corner. Let's see, they've got switched back into their 2-3-1, so showing multiple looks. They're definitely flowing around, testing the Georgia defense.
Yeah, he kind of forced that. He was falling down, and
yeah, good defense.
Somebody was off. It looked like Georgia was offsides. Number 10 trainer stepped on the line. That was a big for Richmond because that looked like that was going to be a little unsettled transition right there for Georgia.
Yep, so Georgia stepped over. Richmond's going to maintain possession, pushing the ball back in, all even, 6 minutes to go in the third. See, ball's up top right, number 13 for Richmond. Don't have a name on number 13, so folks just bear with us. Must have had some uniform issues. Number 7, Doug Slaughter with the ball. He's got the short stick matchup, so way up top, and they're content to leave him staying with them.
Yeah, and I've seen this all day today. These guys I'm all about bounce shots, but they're bouncing it straight at the ground. You kind of have to bounce it almost on an angle at the goal and bounce at the goalie's feet, not straight at the ground. Yeah,
you can tell they're trying to get those high bouncers, and they're overdoing it.
And it was a great dodge. I think they need to go to 7 and pull. I think this is working right now, keeping up from the top, dodging from the top. But they got to be ready for that double because it's coming.
Oh, yeah, double came.
That was a nice shot.
Yeah, nice little dump down. Is that Magnuson?
Yes, that was Magnuson.
Yeah, Magnuson again coming through for Richmond. So solid all year and has continued to do that today. He had 18 goals and 6 assists in the regular season, and certainly showing up for them here tonight. Yeah. Really, Georgia just got a little overzealous on the double. The Richmond player went down and the defenseman left Magnuson, and they was able to get the pass for him for the wide open shot to the lower corner. It was nicely done. Way to take advantage of the overplay.
Yeah, all game. It's they've made some great looks, and I think right now that was a key face-off. I think they're going to get the right personnel in here, and I think you gotta keep doing what you're doing. Dodge them up top because you're going to draw that double, and they do a very good job of seeing the double and pushing it back.
Richmond does a nice job winning the face-off. I know I was talking to Coach Carter before the game, and their full-time face-off guy was not able to make the trip. Really unfortunate for Richmond. They had exams start this week and weren't able to get clearance for the rest of the team to come down here. So they've got 16 guys kind of making a go of it. Beat Florida State last night, and here tied 7-7 with Georgia tonight. So a lot of heart out of the group of 16 that was able to make the trip. So Magnuson gets the ball up top again. I'm sure he's liking this short stick matchup. I'm going to guess we're going to see a slide come early. No, continue to stay home.
That was a great shot by Magnuson. That was a great save by Lumsden on
yeah.
that.
Yeah, nice save. Georgia's breaking out, but no outlet yet. He's going to content to move the ball as defenseman and go through their clear.
Yeah, you got Richmond's got a little more of a pressure ride than that. Their attackmen got to jump these defensemen, not make it so easy for them to pass the ball up the field.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot more pressure out of Georgia in the ride than you are Richmond, but I imagine with that roster, the 16 guys, as we've talked about a couple of times now, there's only so much they can do.
Yeah. And Georgia they might get caught here.
Yep, Evans pushing in.
That was actually a good adjustment by Richmond on that.
Yeah, good communication by the defense. Pole jumped out, and they rebalanced up. Again, Connor Reed attacking the short stick. Nice bounce shot. Again, like you said, they're trying to hit those top bouncers, but they're just overdoing it just a touch.
In the game of lacrosse, I feel like sometimes as an offense player, you think too much. You're trying to, oh, how should I shoot this? Just shoot the ball. That's what I always tell my players.
So they're in the 2-3-1, got a little alley dodge there, a little sweep across the top, and just looking for that early hedge, and then they're trying to pump the crease. So as Richmond reacts, kind of what Georgia's doing, they're attempting to take advantage of that. I think this ball went off of Richmond. It's going to come back to Georgia. Connor Reed starts with the ball as they push in from midfield. Picked up by number 19 from Richmond, Sean Robbins, strong pole. Really Richmond's got a very solid defense.
Yeah. They communicate very well.
Yeah, a lot of intelligence in the defense. Not overly flashy. They play solid ball. A lot of communication.
They've done a very good job as a flag. They've done a very good job of 6-on-6 defense. Georgia's last couple goals were one-on-ones, and it was an ISO where they had a short stick cover and attackman. So hats off to Richmond's defense. You're playing 6-on-6.
Absolutely. We've got a flag on Georgia. I believe it's either a cross check or high hit there on the side, or a push from behind. Looks like will be 30-second push. Got a couple fans here listening, watching the game from LaxTV here in the stands. Isn't that something? They're here in the stands, and instead of watching it, they got it on their iPhone. It's a new day. It's a new day.
Gotta love it.
Here in the 2-3-1, Richmond is, and they're man up.
This is a big man off for them. I think they got to be patient.
And great stick.
That was a great play by Georgia on defense. You got to stick in the passing lane.
So there's a 2v1 on the backside. If they can move the ball down, he misses it.
We're all even now. That was a great stand by Georgia. All right, no big deal. You didn't get it, so you pull it back out and be patient, and you'll have your opportunities.
Yeah, you got 1:43 left in the third quarter, tied 7-7. Obviously, Richmond would love to hold the ball here and try to get to the last possession.
Tough pass.
Tough pass. A little early in the possession. Let's see here. That's calling off Richmond. It's going to go to Georgia.
Yeah, that was Magnuson who lost it there. And he looks gassed. I mean, it's tough when you have 5 or 6 subs.
Yeah. See, George Walker's pushing in for Georgia. Just clearing the ball down.
Yeah.
The Alpharetta boy.
I can see Georgia just pulling out here and then taking their shot here with a minute left. They're going to look for the most opportune time here to try and break this tie.
That's Cayman Satude. Moves the ball up top to Walker. Moves it on back to DJ Knuckles.
Knuckles is an athlete. And
yeah, you know, he has been able to get an angle several times. That's a great job by that short stick defenseman. George is going to sweep. Oh, you know, wide open.
What a shot. It hit the post.
Yeah.
They're saying they scored. He didn't. That hit the post.
Yeah, hit the underside of the post, but it did hit post, so that is not a goal.
That was a good ground ball by Richmond. This time, you know, don't rush it. You know, you 24 seconds. Don't, you know, they gotta be careful here. That was a good pass.
Yep. Let's see. We've got a flag down.
So it'll be a slash, I think. All right.
Yeah.
Right now, this is if you're Richmond, you hold the ball, run the clock out. So I believe it's a slash or offsides. I didn't see what it was. I know it was on the far side of the field.
Yeah, 9.3 seconds left in the quarter. So yeah, /1 by Georgia. So I think you're going to see Richmond hold the ball here. That'll give them a 50-second man-up possession for the beginning of the fourth and possession. So. You know, I think if you're Coach Carter here, you know, you got to be feeling pretty good.
Oh yeah, going into the fourth quarter, you know, with a man-up opportunity, and now you get the end of the quarter to talk about it and kind of design a play. I think, you know, they need to, on this next man-up, they have to move the ball fast. They have to keep it moving, because once you slow down against this Georgia defense, they're going to put the stick in the passing lane. They're going to jump you, so you need to be on top of the game. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, great quarter. A lot of, you know, good action both ways. Seeing, you know, a lot of energy by Georgia. Richmond's just playing intelligent ball. You know, they know they don't have a ton of numbers, so they're being patient when they can and trying to push when they need to. So it'd be an exciting fourth quarter, 7-7 game. So.
Yeah, you know, all the games. I mean, I watched all the games today, Division II games and the Georgia Tech Virginia Tech game. I mean, all the games were exciting. Very good offenses, some great goaltending, and you're going to see. I mean, this is another great game. I kind of had a feeling this game was going to be like this because, you know, and you highlighted it earlier. Coach Carter said his team has a lot of heart. You know, one thing about them, and they do. I mean, to play with half your team missing, and to play the way they're playing right now is just incredible.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt about it. I mean, I have a recent memory of playing or coaching against Richmond. I saw their squad, their full squad, and certainly had the talent to win this. So I'm not surprised that these 16 are giving it all they got and battling to the last second. And, you know, I think that Division II championship game tomorrow is going to be exciting, you know, watching SCAD and Liberty and then both their semifinal games. A lot of offense on both teams. You know, that's a game that could end up being a 18-17 shootout. So looking forward to the Division II championship tomorrow and who ends up being in Division I.
The Liberty team's got some offensive firepower, and so as does SCAD. Let's see what happens here on this man up.
Yeah, showing a little different look than they had before. Kind of just circling around the top. Going to try to skip it through. It looks like Georgia picks it up well. Again,
great
on the backside to Magnuson. Nice save by the keeper.
That was a great save by Lumsden.
Yeah, great hustle there. Great hustle by
both
Magnuson.
Guys, great hustle.
Yeah, leaving it all out on the field. This ball's going to stay with Richmond.
All right, you got to. This is where they have to move it and find that open guy. That skip pass was working earlier.
I think we thought that they started play, but they've had two balls on the field, so they took a moment to clear one off. So Richmond gets back into their man up.
I'll tell you what.
Got about 10 seconds left in the man up.
You know, people. I don't know if people know, but you know, Georgia went to 5 overtimes at Clemson last night. So I mean, you know, it's tough to play. You know, 2 days in a row, and especially after playing in 5 overtimes. But Georgia's done a pretty good job of playing tonight.
Yeah, haven't really we've seen any signs really of that 4 overtime game. They seem to have been handling their energy pretty well, and of course having a nice big roster helps with that. Nice look over the backside.
Connor Reed just took his eyes off that. You know, sometimes these guys they see gold and they just hesitate for a second, take their eye off the ball, and lose the ball, and that happened in that situation. Good check.
Yeah, Richmond got the ball on the restart. Nice clear there. Georgia's pushing the ball in. Richmond hustles back. It's got numbers, so Georgia content to pull it out and get things settled up. See Michael Trainer kind of settling things in at X. Moves the ball around. DJ Knuckles. No, excuse me, that was Trent Dean. Up to Connor Reed. So he's got that short stick matchup, which we've seen him want to go on those several times now. I think we'll see the same again. Richmond already showing that they're coming early. Really just happy to hedge, though. They're not bringing the full slide. So it's just sometimes that's all it takes if that gets that guy to turn back. Richmond now trying to clear the ball, makes a smart decision, pushes it back to the long stick. He's got a couple of helpers back behind, and he intends to use one. So we've got it wide open in the top right. Nice clear by Richmond.
That was a nice clear by Richmond. They took their time. They didn't rush it.
Yeah, at times they've kind of gotten bogged down around top of the box and allowed Georgia to set up that man ride. But there they were able to cycle the ball. You continue to use the open guy and find the space ultimately.
Yeah, they're trying to get the right personnel in here. And you see John Magnuson out there. He is a guy you want to have the ball because he can dodge and he's got a great shot on the run. I think at this point in the game, this juncture in the game is possess the ball, but you want the ball in your offensive, firepower's hands.
Absolutely.
And he's one of them.
You see Magnuson moves the ball to Clay Palmer. Now can push it in on the short stick. Moves the ball down. Oh, nice little backside leak out for a shot just over the pipe. Again,
that bounce shot.
I'm going to guess on the scouting report it said bounce them because as we're seeing a lot of bouncers by both teams really.
Yeah. Well, Lumsden, you have to put good shots on him. You can't be shooting 15-yard shots and up high because he's just going to save everything high.
Doug Slaughter's got a short stick matchup. Connor Reed is going to isolate on him. Moves it to Magnuson. They do slide and recover. Nice job by Georgia. Moving the ball back behind the X is Richmond. Move the ball back up top. Clay Palmer.
Yeah, to deny and 7 the ball.
Yeah. I think Connor didn't enjoy what just happened to him before. Just wants to make sure he doesn't catch the ball a second time.
Just at this point, be patient. Even though they're extended on you, don't panic. I feel like some teams just panic when the teams extend on them. That was a cross check, and I'm surprised they didn't call that. That was a little high, and the flag did go down, but that's going to be on Richmond.
Yeah, they're calling that on Richmond. Coach Carter called number 14 off the field. Well, I think he wish he could do that over again because he ended up bringing his defenseman right with him to the ball. George Walker now with Georgia settles the ball in. We got 10:45 to go in the fourth, tied 7. We do have a flag down on Richmond. We'll get a clarification on what the call is in just a moment. Let's see, ball moves to the top right. Number 5 for Georgia. Came in. Nice shot. Missed. We'll get this penalty figured out here. Looks like we got a push. Oh, slash. Excuse me.
Slash 1 minute.
/1.
This is a big man up for Georgia, and it's a big man down for Richmond.
Yeah, 10 minutes to go. Neither team wants to end up being down by 1, obviously.
And it seems like this half goals are hard to come by for both teams. I mean, it hasn't been a very high-scoring half.
No, the defense has been playing solid both ways. There's been offensive looks, but keepers have been strong. So it's going to be, this is a slugfest, quite down, honestly, right down to the end. Nice shot by George Walker from about 15.
I know that high to low shot.
Right at his feet. As you were talking about, we've been seeing so many of the high bouncers coming around the crease. Well, that was a little bit of a change-up. It was right at his feet. Might have even deflected off of his feet. Looked like it made a little bit of change of direction. Huge goal there, obviously, for Georgia. The way this quarter's been going, really this half's been going. So we'll see if Richmond can get possession here and respond, keep this thing going back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, those are the shots you love to see you guys take. Those high to low shots, those change-up shots that go in the net.
Absolutely, and George able to get on his strong hand side. That's tough to deal with. Nice check. Big possession back for Georgia.
Yeah, you're starting to see a little momentum change with these teams. Georgia seems to be more hungry right now. They want it more right now. I think Richmond went on that run and tied it back up. Now Georgia's kind of going a little running themselves, and I think that they want it more right now. Let's see if that changes.
Georgia pushes the ball back up top to Evan Hamrick. He's got that short stick matchup for number 2 on Richmond. No slide coming to Evan.
Yeah, what Georgia does well is when they dodge and they do that turn back, they look to feed the crease right away. And on defense, you have to be ready for that.
Connor Reed with the pole, number 36. Nice little check there, you know. Got underneath his hands, just a little lift. Was able to get the ball out. Evan Hamrick with the backup, gets possession back. Georgia's sitting in an open set at the moment. You know, they got the lead. They know it's been a slugfest. Kind of content to also be patient. Make sure that when they do go, it's the right play.
This guy's dangerous. Dumbleton's good dangerous with the ball, especially with a shorty on him. And they're doing that invert again, which they're very good at. That's up to Connor. Connor Reed makes a great
nice inside. Yeah, great split to the inside. Richmond keeper comes out, does a nice job picking up ball. He's going to need to do something productive with it.
Yeah, you know, that's a bit of a slash right there. I'm surprised I didn't call it, but
definitely refs deciding to let that one go. And
that's a tough pass.
Yeah, Richmond just feeling desperate in the clear and sends one. That's the one they wish they had back.
What a save!
Great save by the Richmond goalie.
Andy Driscoll.
Yeah, he's having to stand on his head at the moment. Georgia on the restart. Richmond's a little sluggish getting back. Richmond has to slide.
Great defensive play. I mean, it was a good look. This is a
good scrum on the ground ball.
Lift right here. As a defenseman, you teach your guys to poke and lift, and you know that's what they need to do against these Georgia players, especially when they're behind the net. You want your stick up field and on their hands because they're very crafty.
Yeah, that was great pressure by number 35 on Richmond. You know, he's spending a lot of energy trying to pursue, come up with that ground ball. And I know that he's probably frustrated, but you know, you just got to keep battling. Good take by Georgia. Just misses the lower right corner. Georgia with backup. Again, continually seeing Georgia attack the short stick defenders. You know, it's obviously their game plan. Have rarely seen them go on the poles. You know, they're content to wait for the pole to slide and then move the ball and take advantage from there.
Yeah, they're waiting for that matchup, and they're going with it.
There's Hamrick pushing on number 2.
But I'll tell you what, Richmond does a great job of switching and crashing on the crease because they look to feed that crease. That was a shot.
Great take. You know, I don't know if it looked to me like he threw a pump fake right around GLE and kind of froze the defenseman and the goalie and took 2 more steps, improved his angle, and then put a nice shot on cage. That pushes Georgia's lead to 9-7 with 7:01 to go here in the fourth. You know, all goals are important, but you know, Richmond needs a possession right now and needs to keep this thing from getting stretched out further if they're going to stay in this. As you mentioned, the momentum certainly swung within the last 5 minutes. Georgia's gotten a lot more energy around the field.
Yeah, they want it more right now, and it shows. I mean, and I'm not saying that Richmond doesn't want to win the game. I think Richmond at this point, you know, being with 16 guys, it wears on you eventually, and this is where I was afraid might happen to them, and hopefully, you know, they can still hang in there and have an opportunity to stop this run by Georgia because it's it could get ugly because the Georgia's the type of team that if you're not on top of them, they're gonna blow up in a big lead.
Yeah, another great face-off by Harrison Casada for Georgia. So continuing to help them get possessions, just making it that much more difficult for Richmond to try to dig back in this the way that Georgia's handling things at the face-off X. Ball moves back up top to number 9, DJ Knuckles. Got that. He's got a pole. A shot just behind cage. It's going to be Georgia's ball. Starting in the back right corner, Michael Traynor.
Yeah, he could have took a couple more steps on that. I really didn't have much of an angle when he shot that, but, you know, they're trying to keep that up-tempo pace going.
Yeah, we've got 6 minutes to go in the fourth. George Walker dodging on number 13 for Richmond. Number 9 took his eyes off just for a moment. DJ Knuckles, also with the short stick matchup. You're seeing that hedge coming early. You know, Richmond's figuring out what's going on. And, you know, when you slide early, that's what happened. You know, they slid early. The recovery wasn't there on the backside. They make the tic-tac-toe pass to the cutter. and it's what you get is a slam dunk on the crease. So that could not have been drawn up any better by Georgia.
Yeah, that's their bread and butter. I mean, that crease, they look to feed that crease. And on that time, the Georgia player made a great cut to the cage, caught it, and finished.
Yeah, you're in a trouble spot there. Richmond has to have possession, so they have to extend, and you're just able to overwhelm them on the backside. Another nice face-off by Harrison, pushing in, slide comes, does not get the ball off in time, but Georgia's there to get the ground ball. So with 5:30 to go in the game, Georgia with the 10-7 lead here in the fourth at Northview High School. Winner of this game goes on to play Georgia Tech in the championship game tomorrow. And just like that, we've now got another goal by Georgia.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. They get on a run, and if you can't stop it, they're just going to keep pouring it on. It happened to us last Sunday. We're up 8-5, and before you know it, it was 14-12. I mean, they're the type of team that you gotta play 60 minutes of lacrosse against.
Yeah, number 13, Kyle Reed, the Richmond defender, just doesn't play high side, disciplined defense, gives them the middle of the field, and he makes them pay to the top corner with the lefty rip. So nice laser to the top corner. Richmond now gets possession. Ball is pushed in by Magnuson. Moves back to number 7, Slaughter.
There's a flag down. It looks like there might have been a slash on Georgia.
Okay, so we got a flag down. Looks like maybe a slash.
Good dodge. That was a good shot. I mean, you got a lot on that.
Yeah, Richmond can take the rip from about 15, and they're going to start their man up with 4:50 to go here in the fourth. So obviously, it goes without being said, Richmond they're going to come make a run. It's got to start right now.
Yeah, they got to start shooting the ball. I mean, with 4:51 left, you got to make every opportunity in your possessions. And it feels like this whole quarter, Georgia's had the ball on offense.
Yeah, it really does feel that way. I would guess probably 80% of the quarter. Richmond's in there 2-3-1, man up. Just got that's a good split. I mean, a good skip there, but you got to handle that.
You know what I think it is, and it happens for a lot of offensive players. Is you take your eye off the ball because you're so zeroed in on shooting it.
Yeah, where you're going to go next with it.
Yeah.
I think we have a loose ball push there, so it's going to stay with Richmond. 4:20 to go in the fourth. Magnuson up top. I think that's on the out. No, that was a goal.
That was a nice rip.
Yeah, great rip by number 11, Chris Gifford. One of their better scorers on the year. Strong player. Nice rip.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left to score goals. Game lacrosse. It was a high school game up on Long Island where a team was losing 12-9 with a minute left and tied the game and went to overtime. So lacrosse, you can score very quickly.
Well, and we've seen Richmond shooters. They've got several guys that if they get time and room from 13 or 14 yards can put it in. And just like this, we get a nice ground ball there by the wing. Oh, and the disarm by Georgia. You got to have that ground ball, Georgia. See, Richmond's there scrumming for the ball. Nice ground ball pickup by Richmond. Pushes it back to his goalie.
Yeah, they need to get the ball in the offensive end, and they have to start going to the cage because you're down by 3, and it's not the time to sit there and settle the ball, and that's just an errant pass by the goalie.
Yeah, tough. Not getting a lot of movement in the clear. A lot of guys kind of standing around watching the goalies. He feels like he's got to make a play. We got a turnover by Richmond. Ball's back to Georgia. Dean Trent there on the right side, and I mean, you've got to pick him up. Guy like that's going to get to 8-9 yards. He's going to rip it, and he finds the back of the cage.
Yeah, like I said, Trent Dean, he could score from anywhere, and he scores bounce shots, he scores high shots, he scores in tight shots, and you really have to keep your eye on him, and he took advantage of that right there.
Yeah, very quick release on that. The defenseman hesitated getting out there, and he made him pay for it. That could make it real difficult for Richmond. Another clamp win for the Georgia face-off guys. Number 42 and 16 have done great this whole game.
Yeah, and that's one thing Georgia's very good. They're good on the wings on the face-off. They have guys that get the ground ball, and their face-off guy, yeah, that was up to the head. That was an elbow to the head on Richmond. They have guys, their face-off guy. What he does is he flips the ball out to the wing, and that guy's right there to get it. It's like clockwork.
Yeah, they're definitely on the same page of what they're doing at the face-off X, where they want the ball to go, and they're doing a good job of getting it there. So as we said, we had a high hit there where one of the Georgia players was down and got hit. So they're going to be man up, I'm sure, for a minute.
Yeah, and this is where Georgia can really nail it in the coffin here. Up 12-8, and they can put it up, put another one in here. It looks like it's going to be real tough for Richmond to try and get back in this.
Georgia's in a 3-1-2.
Yeah, Dean is he'll shoot, and out of nowhere too. So you got to keep your eye on him.
The back post is now open. Those two guys switch back there. You can see the 2-on-1 get pulled up.
That was a sidearm shot. Really didn't have a chance there. But Georgia's going to look to skip past it here from behind.
Wide open. Yeah, the Richmond defense just didn't rotate around when they got pulled up out of their zone. So Georgia now goes up 13-8 with 2:40 to go.
Yeah, it's tough, and hats off to the Richmond kids. I mean, they've played. They haven't given up all game, but you can see they're tired, and Georgia, like I said, they go on these spurts, and it's hard to catch up to them. Yeah,
Richmond has no reason to hang their heads. Bringing 16 guys down here and battling through Florida State last night, giving Georgia a run for literally 80% of this game till the legs kind of gave out. And kudos to Georgia, kept working hard, stuck to the game plan. Again, another nice face-off there, number 16, Georgia, Harrison Casada. Long sticks pushing the ball in, wanting to get in on the offensive action. And Richmond's now trying to go to a lock-off. And there they get the space they need to get the ball to the attackman. So Trainer's kind of pushing in. We've gone to 2:10 to go in the game. Moves the ball behind to O'Mara.
Great look.
It was a great look.
It was a good look. Just tough pass.
Richmond, like you say, they're in a no-man's land where they have to extend pressure.
That's going to be a push, loose ball push.
Yep, loose ball push. Georgia staying Richmond. Looks like they're ready, waiting for the whistle. We've got 1:50 to go. Let's see, Slaughter with the ball in the short stick matchup.
He's going to push the cage here.
He's going to go immediately.
He needs to.
They don't slide.
Lumsden got a piece of that. Hats off to him. He's made some pretty good saves here tonight, and in key situations. So, you can just tell here, Georgia just wants it more right now. At this point, they're just on top of every ground ball. And I kind of felt whoever was going to out-ground ball the other team was going to win this second half and
Absolutely.
win the game.
Came down to possessions and energy at the end.
Yeah, and nothing against Richmond. I mean, it's tough to come here with half your team and beat a team like Georgia that's just a juggernaut.
Yeah. It's like we've got a timeout by Georgia. 1:01 left.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? They came on offensively in that quarter. They just moved the ball well. They looked to find the open man and caught Richmond sleeping.
Well, you said that the whole game, that Georgia was a team that at any point could come alive and string together 3, 4, 5 goals, and boy did they ever do it in that quarter. So exactly what we thought could happen happened.
Yeah, and they played with a lot of energy too. I mean, it was just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
In that quarter.
So Coach for Georgia is getting his guys ready. Lewandowski, last minute. I'm sure he's telling them, keep composure, work hard, ready to move your feet, and probably congratulating them on a good game, but telling them to finish it out. Richmond guys coming back out.
Yeah, he's probably just saying kill the clock and don't and in this type of situations, some teams get a little chippy, and he's probably just telling them just to run some clock and finish out strong. Yeah, you can see Richmond's extending pressure. They're going to try and get the ball here. And,
yeah, no quit in Richmond. Extending pressure, doing the double here. They can get their bracket set up. And they've got it. I think the ball's out. Of course, they get Georgia ball. They're going to run to space. And they're going to be content just to pull it right back out. Is that, Trent Dean makes a smart decision, 34 seconds to go. Good pressure by Richmond. Ball goes down. Richmond's clearing. Working hard right to the end. Nice move in the middle of the field. He's got the short stick mashup. Moves the ball down to number 13 at GLE. We've got 10 seconds to go in this game. Georgia's very excited to be moving on to the championship game tomorrow. And not sure. We've got 0.6 seconds left on the clock. I think we had a turnover. So we'll do enough just to start to blow the horn, and that's ball game.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the University of Georgia. Great game here in the semifinal. We'll move on to play their arch rival, I would think, Georgia Tech tomorrow.
Yeah, they just played each other last weekend, so it's gonna be a good one tomorrow. It's gonna be a barn burner, and I know Georgia's seething at the mouth to get back at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech played them last week and played them very well, and Georgia Tech's in a groove, and so is Georgia. So this game's gonna be a phenomenal game.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
gonna be a great game tomorrow, and a great performance by Richmond. They'll be moving on to NCAA Division I next year, so happy for that program. So best of luck to them in the future, and it would be a great final. So we've got Liberty versus SCAD tomorrow, and Georgia versus Georgia Tech. So from here from Northview, thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.